What up? Welcome back, everybody. It's 4th and 1 podcast time with your host, Captain Boring, and his main bitch, NotCFBIII.
That's me.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here. Worstest podcast on the interwebs. Go ahead and give us a follow on Instagram, 4th and 1 podcast, on TikTok, 4th and 1 pod, Facebook, 4th and 1 podcast as well. All the words all spelled out, but you know that by this point. Thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe this episode wherever you are listening. And we are a little over... 50 days we are at 46 days now until college football. Hard to believe, but we are heading down the home stretch. This fall, we are going to have more engagement things. There will be cold, hard cash on the line. So make sure you're listening all through the fall for all your college football needs. Go follow on the topic of our sideline reporter, Carlos. He covers kind of everything outside of college football. We're going to make sure you have a real good time. Welcome, Bob. How we doing today?
Hey, we're doing good. We're dry today. That's always a good start.
Yeah, no rain. Your house stayed afloat?
It was like it didn't even rain up here. So I am 2 for 2 on avoiding mass casualty flooding in the state of Pennsylvania.
Nice.
Yes.
My mother got trapped she was visiting my brother, who is not back with us yet. She was visiting my brother trying to get home and had to pull over and kind of just sit there and just watch the water flow across the street. So if you are in an area of the country that's getting a lot of rain and there's flooding, T's and P's to you. Stay safe out there. I was supposed to mention that Ryan Lochte, former U.S. Olympic swimmer, former the next Michael Phelps, he was at the time, got a divorce and has been posting to his story all about his kids and that it is very awkward. That is what I have been told to report.
Is he the same one that went and stole something during the Olympics?
Claimed he got mugged, I think it was.
Yeah.
In Rio. Yeah.
So he's just posting stuff about his kids?
So, yeah, I guess he got divorced, and now all over Instagram, I don't know, whatever social media platform is being followed, he's just posting about his kids to a story, and it is, quote, very awkward.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I did my due diligence there. You're welcome.
Hey.
My wife is the one who told me to report that. So happy wife, happy life.
Amen, brother. Ain't
Okay.
got one, but yeah.
yeah. Before we kind of jump in, we are doing over-under win totals on the SEC today. We're also doing the O-line of our all 4th and 1 team, and I'll cover this. But one business thing, one thing I want to talk about, which is just more pleasure to talk about. This is all fun to talk about. Louisiana Tech is joining the Sun Belt, leaving Conference USA and joining the Sun Belt. The year is unknown yet, but probably 2026. They just have to decide on that.
Ooh. So that brings an interesting dynamic because now the Sun Belt needs... What did I say it was Ohio?
Leaving the MAC, yeah.
Yeah, to join the Sun Belt. So they need that to happen then because with Louisiana Tech joining, that creates an imbalance.
Within the divisions. Yeah, sure. Yeah. I like it because it really does lock down the state of Louisiana for the Sun Belt because they have the University of Louisiana as well.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a really nice. Yeah, you got Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns. You got UL Monroe.
Mm-hmm.
Now you get Tech. Now they're just missing his LSU, and they got the whole kit and caboodle.
And they basically got the whole state. So we'll keep an eye on there. La Tech, good member of Conference USA, not a great member of Conference USA. I'm going to say this now and then it'll change in the fall. Don't really pull off a lot of upsets, but that's a lot because they're playing Big 12 powerhouses or SEC powerhouses. So, it's kind of like Central Michigan. They just never pull off an upset against Michigan or Ohio State. I say that now, and yes, I'm well aware of the irony come this fall. Speaking, what's up?
Would you say going from Conference USA to the other conference,
Fun Belt.
Oh my God, Fun Belt.
Sun Belt,
is that a lateral move or is that a slightly better move? Because, I mean, it kind of seems like all they do is take all the really bad teams and just kind of shovel them into Conference USA, or teams that are kind of in their first year. Except for James Madison. They didn't do it with James Madison because James Madison was like, yeah, we're joining a conference right away, and not a terrible one. But like Sam Houston, Missouri State, Kennesaw State, Delaware.
It does to me. Well, actually, this puts Conference USA. So they're losing Louisiana Tech. That only gives them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That only gives them 9 members. I mean, still conference because you got to have 8.
Yeah.
But they're now kind of dwindling fast because Marshall came over, I believe, from Conference USA. Like the Sun Belt, yes, has poached a lot of Conference USA teams, including, well, Texas State's gone, right? Texas State is moving to the Pac-12.
Pac-12, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess it's a replacement for that. No, to answer your question, I think the Sun Belt is slightly above Conference USA.
I mean, that pretty much, taking out Louisiana Tech, that pretty much just puts, if Liberty doesn't win the conference every year, it's kind of surprising, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it really does seem like Conference USA is like that the lowest conference on the totem pole.
You know what Conference USA is good for? Conference USA is good for Robert making picks for the 7 and 9 o'clock games for the 0 and 11 Kennesaw State Owls to cover the 39 points that whoever is getting against them.
And they always do. And
it's awesome. I did fairly well with them.
Where is Missouri State and Delaware joining? Conference USA?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I was like, it just seems like that's where all the new teams go.
Except for Liberty.
Well, I think Liberty's always been a part of them, haven't they?
They were independent, and then they joined Conference USA, which made no sense to me because Liberty had more pull.
But James Madison didn't join them right out the gate either. They automatically went to the Fun Belt.
Yeah.
But James Madison was also really good.
Yeah.
In the FCS.
That they were. They They won a championship before, but they didn't win I mean, they were in like the semifinal the year before.
But they were like consistently somewhat competitive.
Yeah, they were a playoff team. Consistently.
Yeah. I don't think Kennesaw State was ever really competitive, even though I kind of had hopes that they would be decent. But Missouri State, I thought, was okay for a little bit. Was I wrong there? Pretty sure I'm wrong.
In the Missouri State was good in the FCS. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is their first year in FBS.
Sam Houston was pretty good. They were always in the playoff.
Yeah. And then, were they good last year?
I don't think so.
I thought that I looked up and they were.
Well, 2024. Oh, they were all right. They were what, 10-3?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought that they were really bad the previous year.
Their first year, they were bad. Yeah, they were 3-9.
Yeah,
that was their inaugural season.
Right.
Like the welcome to the FBS wake up.
Well, I mean, maybe Kennesaw State's going to have a welcome to the FBS, or like a wake up, I guess I should say. And this is their second season too.
Yeah, I mean that'd be cool because I feel like it would be kind of nice.
It'll be nice if we can get the conferences like the MAC and the Conference USA that play on Tuesday, Wednesday. If we can get them to be real competitive.
Oh, if it's like a random Tuesday,
yeah,
and it's like, oh, we have, the 8-4 UAB Blazers going up against the 7-5 East Carolina Pirates, and like it be like a very competitive game,
Yeah.
not the 0-11 Kennesaw State Owls versus the 1-10 Jacksonville State,
Yeah.
whatever they are, dude. I think I picked one of those games last year.
Yes, you did. It may have actually been Kennesaw State and Jacksonville State.
If there's a good possibility.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we talked about Conference USA way more than I thought we would. So, but that's all right. You come here for the listen. Okay. Why don't we do this? Fan engagement time. Wherever you are listening, run to the YouTube page, run to the full-length podcast episode. If you are not listening to this on YouTube, if you are, just drop a comment below. Drop a comment on the YouTube video. Who's winning Conference USA? Let us know. Okay? Pick a team. Who's winning Conference USA? Let us know. We're about to tell you who's about to win the SEC. So let's get into that. We're going to go backwards here. I know we did start bench cut first last week. We're going to do over-under win totals this week. All right. Do you want to go projected worst to first or projected first to worst?
Well, since last time we did worst to first, let's do first to worst this time.
All righty. Well, then let's go ahead and start with a shock to me when I saw the FanDuel over-under.
I will guess. Let me guess this.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm going to guess that the team that they assume is going to be a really good over-under, even though Texas is there and Alabama is there. LSU.
Wrong. It is actually one of the two teams you mentioned. It is Alabama. So there are multiple teams tied for 9.5 wins. Alabama's one of them. Kalen DeBoer enters his second season. Some would say on the hot seat if he doesn't at least make the playoffs. I think I would agree that the seat would be getting warm if there was at least no playoff appearance or SEC championship game appearance. Fair to say or no?
Probably. I would say that it's fair that it starts to get warm because it's Alabama. And to say someone's going to be on a hot seat when you have like a 10-win season or even a 9-win season in your first year is kind of crazy. But then again, it's Alabama and they haven't.
You never want to be the guy to follow the guy, you know, and that's exactly what Kalen's doing.
And we're at the perfect point in history where people don't remember when Alabama was bad.
Yeah.
Kids don't remember that. So this is a 3-loss Alabama team. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Doesn't make the playoffs? What?
A 3-loss Alabama team that doesn't make the playoff. The last time Nick Saban had a 3-loss team, it was, I think, Mark Ingram's season after his Heisman Trophy season. They went to the bowl game and just beat up on Michigan State. Like, it wasn't even close. The fact that you went to then a bowl game and lost to a team that, to put it kindly, struggled with the forward pass is really embarrassing. Like, the way last season finished is really embarrassing.
And the beautiful part is there's no excuse. None.
Right.
There's absolutely any Alabama fan cannot. There's no excuse. You can't say anything really bad about Jalen Milroe because he had good games, he had bad games. If you thought that he was bad, you should have put somebody else in. You had this 18-year-old phenom that or 17 or whatever he was.
There you go. 17, yeah.
That everyone was going wild over, that he was this great wide receiver. And I've said it last year, and I was like, I just don't believe, like, he's a good receiver, but he's not as good as what everyone's making him. And lo and behold, at the end of the season, just he had what, 50 yards against Michigan, and Michigan didn't even have Will Johnson.
Yeah. Michigan played with all backups. That's why that's him. I think we looked it up like 2 podcast episodes ago when we were doing the wide receivers for our team. That Ryan Williams had a terrible end of the season. Ever since he had a good Vanderbilt game, and then since the Vanderbilt game, it was like this. Now, I don't know if that's because teams were kind of doubling him or not, but you could use the argument Jeremiah Smith was being doubled, I'm sure, and he was still getting open.
Yeah.
So the guy replacing Jalen Milroe, as you said, as Jalen Milroe is off to the NFL, is Ty Simpson. He is a 5-star. He has been there now 3 years. So he's going to be a junior, redshirt junior coming in. The over-under win total for Bama is 9.5. They open at Florida State, Louisiana Monroe, Wisconsin, Georgia, Vanderbilt, Missouri, Tennessee, South Carolina, LSU, and Tuscaloosa. I will be at that game. Oklahoma, Eastern Illinois, and Auburn.
I mean, it's an easy 10-win schedule.
You're pretty confident that it's going to be an easy 10-win schedule.
Well, so they should beat Florida State, even though it's at Florida State. Again, though, this is a big one of those one-offs where they go and they travel outside of the SEC for an actual road game, and Alabama tends to not do great.
Yeah.
But I don't think Florida State's going to be the team that comes like off it towards the end of the year where they start getting better. But 1-0, obviously they'll beat UL Monroe. 2-0. They'll whoop on Wisconsin and get Fickle fired. 3-0.
Shot at Luke Fickle there.
Dude, if he doesn't get fired after this year, I might be kind of surprised.
You wouldn't be the only one to be surprised, I think.
At Georgia, that's a toss-up game, because it's that big game feel. You're coming off of Wisconsin.
Is it at Georgia?
Yes.
I think you answered your question there.
Yeah, 7:30 p.m. But Georgia also, Gunnar Stockton's their quarterback, who we really don't know much about Gunnar.
That's true.
Either.
I'm just saying that Georgia hasn't lost at home in like 3 years. So,
you have the Vanderbilt trap game after the Georgia game.
Yeah, I think that they'll actually be more fired up for Vanderbilt than they will Georgia.
Well, the redemption,
yeah.
But they should beat Vandy, should beat Missouri. They get Tennessee at home. They should win that one because Tennessee's going to have who knows who at quarterback. South Carolina could be a very interesting game.
Yep.
The game that you're going to, the LSU game, I am actually anticipating that is going to be a top 5 matchup.
Okay.
To be honest. Oklahoma, they should beat Oklahoma. They should beat Eastern Illinois, and they should beat Auburn. I mean, there's 3 games where you're kind of like, maybe. Georgia, who knows? LSU, South Carolina.
I think, or I guess I'm hoping that the Vanderbilt game is just absolutely, or not, I'm sorry. The Vanderbilt game too, but the LSU game is electric because I have a feeling it's going to be at night. Game day might be there. Just selfishly because I am going to that game. I just want it to be a great game. All right, so the next team that is also at 9.5, like I said, there are 3 at the top, 9.5, 9.5, 9.5. The second 9.5 are the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia, their non-conference schedule is just garbage, which is good because here is the run starting in week 3 that they have to go on for conference schedule. At Tennessee, then they get Alabama and Kentucky at home and Ole Miss. Then Florida and Jacksonville, Mississippi State, Texas, and then they're finally finishing up with Georgia Tech in Atlanta. All of their tough games are at home. I remember we looked this up that they have 8 or 9 home games this year. They
play 3 road games.
It's incredible. Tennessee, Alabama, Kentucky, and Kentucky played them into overtime or very close to it last year. Auburn
close.
Should be improved. Ole Miss and Florida very easily could lose 6 straight games. Very easily could win 6 total games. Could split it, be 3-3, and could be one of the best 3-loss teams we've ever seen. What you got in the Bulldogs?
Well, 9.5 is a very reasonable number, because I'm sitting in between 9 and 10.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Texas game, the Bama game, and Florida are kind of my three where I'm like,
You took
those are
Florida. Okay.
those are probably going to be. I'm not sold on Ole Miss with that game yet. Not Auburn, not Kentucky. At Tennessee, that's maybe get Georgia Tech at home, and Georgia Tech should be pretty decent. So I mean,
No, Georgia Tech's on the road in Atlanta.
oh, that's right, it's in Atlanta. It's a
Yeah.
neutral game.
No, Georgia Tech isn't Atlanta. That game's at Georgia Tech.
Oh, it says it's home for me.
I have Georgia Atlanta November. Georgia Tech in Atlanta. And this is the SEC schedule, like on the website. But I don't know.
have Georgia Tech versus Georgia, Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Oh, so Georgia Tech just moved it to a bigger stadium. Okay, that's interesting. That's fine.
Yeah,
'Cause
they would have. That's a Falcon Stadium. Yeah, so
Right.
they would have.
Yeah. All
See,
right,
see now, Georgia Tech thinks they're really good now.
right.
So
Yeah.
they're like, we need a bigger thing for a bigger event.
8 overtimes last year. They're like, we could play with the big dogs.
Yeah. I'll say over. I think 10.
Okay. So 10, I would also take 10. I think that they do get tripped up by one of the two, either being Kentucky or Auburn. And I'm secretly high on Auburn, and we'll get to them in a minute. Let's go to Texas then, who is also at 9.5. Steve Sarkisian is year 4. And if you listen to Paul and Five Mom, they have the best quarterback in the history of college football who's played 3 games and hasn't wowed anyone, and that is Arch Manning. He is definitely a runner. He's not his uncle's. He will not sit in that pocket. He's more like his grandfather or his dad, who was a wide receiver. Sark has now made the college football playoff 2 straight seasons, semis 2 straight years. At what point, if he doesn't hit a natty here in the next 2 years, but he keeps hitting semifinals, do the Texas boosters, and we know how fickle they can be, start barking in his ear and his seat get warm? So it's 9.5 with Arch Manning. Week 1, they're in Columbus for Lee Corso's last game. Then it's a whole bunch of junk non-conference games, and then starts Florida, Oklahoma, Kentucky, Mississippi State, Vanderbilt. Very winnable games. Then it's Georgia, Arkansas, A&M.
I have them at 10.
I have them at 10 too. I mean, okay, so maybe Ohio State
teams at 10-3,
10-2, but yeah,
or 10-2. Like, what does the committee do?
Committee. Well, you got to figure out tiebreakers first to determine.
That's what I mean. Like,
yeah, dude. I'm sure they have like, yeah. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, they lose to Ohio State. They're going to beat San Jose State, UTEP, and Sam Houston. Those are all in Austin. Florida's in Gainesville. Florida, I expect to be improved, but I think Texas would be better. Oklahoma's better. That's the Red River rivalry. Oklahoma, I'm sorry, they're better than Oklahoma. I think they're better than Kentucky. They're better than Mississippi State. They're better than Vanderbilt, at least if I go off of what Texas has been the last couple of years. Georgia's a toss-up game. They're better than Arkansas, and they're better than A&M right now. I think it's one of the more easy overs, but we shall see. They're like, between the two newcomers, Oklahoma and Texas, Oklahoma is just getting the absolute shit end of the schedule creation their first 2 years. Holy cow.
That, and I mean, they just totally fell apart after they left the Big 12. They fell apart once they hired
Venables.
Venable. You know, yeah. Venable's a great defensive coach, but it's just not Not there, man.
It's really not. His seat is definitely very hot, very very hot. Whose seat is definitely getting warmer, and that is Brian Kelly at year 4 down there at Louisiana State University, or LSU. Their projected over under is 8.5. Their starting quarterback is our Fourth and One podcast all 4th and 1 team quarterback, and that's Garrett Nussmeier, who had a good season last year. He's gotta clean up the turnovers without a doubt. When he turned the ball over, they were a mediocre offense. When he didn't turn the ball over, they were nearly unstoppable. LSU starts with Clemson, then Louisiana Tech, new member to Conference USA, or will be. Florida, then they play some directional school. Ole Miss, South Carolina, Vanderbilt, A&M, Alabama, Arkansas, Western Kentucky, Oklahoma.
I've never heard anyone go some directional school. All right, I dig it.
Southeastern Louisiana. That's who the directional school is.
Dog, put him in the Fun Belt. Louisiana school.
Put him in the Fun Belt. All right, 8.5 on Louisiana.
I'm going over.
Okay.
LSU actually is going to be my dark horse for the SEC.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, they beat Clemson. They're going 11-1.
Okay.
Because that's why I'm expecting the top 5 matchup for Alabama, LSU at night. And that's the game that I have them losing to Alabama. But that sets precedence for them to maybe have a rematch in the SEC championship.
All of their big quote-unquote games, conference games, let's just go conference games because they're at Clemson. Florida, they're at home. Ole Miss, again, inexperienced. We'll get to Ole Miss in just 1 second. Ole Miss is in Oxford, inexperienced quarterback. South Carolina in Baton Rouge. I'm sorry, Vanderbilt. Everyone's on this Diego Pavia hype train. I like Diego Pavia. I like the story. I like because they beat Alabama. He was great last year. They went 6-6. But they get all of their big conference games with teams who can match up against them toe for toe, play after play, are all at home, except for Alabama.
Yeah.
So it'll be very interesting. Okay, Ole Miss Rebels. Lane Kiffin, year 5 already. Can you believe that? Austin Simmons takes over for Jackson Dart. Austin Simmons graduated high school when he was 16. This is his 2nd year in the program, 3rd year in the program. He's a red shirt freshman. 2nd year in the program, whatever that would be. Got in the game last year against Georgia, led a touchdown drive, so people are very high. He also plays for the Ole Miss baseball team. I don't know if you know that. He's one of their starting pitchers, or was. So Ole Miss opens up with Georgia State. Then it's Kentucky, Arkansas, Tulane, LSU. Those are all at home except for Kentucky. Then Washington State, that's an odd one. That's at home. Then Georgia, Norman, South Carolina, the Citadel, Florida, and Mississippi State is on the road. They're 8.5.
8.5. That I'm taking the under at 8.
Okay.
I have them losing to Florida, South Carolina, Georgia, and LSU.
They do get Florida and South Carolina, who kind of are teams historically that get hot at the end of the season. So I'll accept that. And
Ole Miss at home isn't. No one ever sits here and goes, "Oh my God, we got to go play Ole Miss at home." You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Wait, when they're like, "Oh God, we got to go to Alabama. Oh, we got to go to Georgia. We got to go to LSU." No one's like,
shaking. Yeah,
gotta go to Oxford.
Yeah. And now that we say that, they'll be undefeated at home this year, and they'll be the national champions.
Well, and then that gives Lane, something to hang his hat on, because he can't hang it on really anything now.
Yeah. Except his dog. His dog's real cute. Tennessee Volunteers, 8.5. Josh Heupel, year 4. Jose Aguilar, I believe that's his name, is taking over for Nico Iamaleava, who left this spring via the transfer portal. So, breaking in a new quarterback, Tennessee kind of wasn't an offensive explosion machine last year as they were the previous two years under Josh Heupel. They were more defense and running the ball. Some people, and when I watched Tennessee, I was like, Nico just cannot throw an accurate deep ball. If Nico could throw an accurate deep ball, Tennessee's offense would be much more explosive. So let's see what Aguilar can step in and do. They open in Atlanta, taking on Syracuse. Then they play a directional school, then Georgia, UAB, Mississippi State, Arkansas, Alabama in Tuscaloosa, Kentucky, Oklahoma, New Mexico State, Florida, and Vanderbilt to finish the season. Alabama, Kentucky are both on the road, and Florida is also in Gainesville.
Is that game always played in Gainesville? I thought they played neutral.
I think you're thinking of Florida and Georgia.
No, that's probably it, yeah. What was their over-under? 8.5?
8.5.
Yeah, I'll take the under at 8.
Yeah, I'm going to take the under an 8 as well.
They could definitely get 9.
Yeah.
100%. But, yeah, they could also very much only get 7.
Yeah, for sure. It's really going to depend on whether or not they can get the deep seam ball going or not.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Tennessee is probably the biggest question mark because they could be pretty good, but they also could be pretty bad.
I'm going to disagree with you. I think the biggest question mark is this next team who fit into that category. Could be pretty good, could be pretty bad, and that's the Auburn Tigers. Hugh Freeze, this is year 2 or 3? I have year 2 here. I thought he was there.
Could be 2.
I think this is year 3. I'm going to go 3. Jackson Arnold comes over from Oklahoma. Their over-under is 7.5. And Auburn, Baylor in Waco, 2 non-cons, then Oklahoma in Norman, Texas A&M in College Station. They get Georgia at home. They get Missouri at home. Arkansas's in Fayetteville. Kentucky's at home. Vanderbilt's on the road. They get Mercer. And then Alabama's in Jordan Hare as well. 7.5. Where are you going with them?
I'm going to, because they could be 7 or they could be 8. I'm going to say 8. So I'll take the over.
Okay. I'm also seeing 8 win because I think that they get somebody. And it might not be a big team, but one of these games that is just like, like I think that they beat Baylor, right?
Right. Well, I had them essentially having almost a 3-game losing streak, like going 3-0 and then losing at Oklahoma, at Texas A&M, and then home against Georgia, and then they right the ship, and then they're on a 5-game win streak, and then they of course get Alabama, which maybe they get Alabama.
That's been a 50-50 kind of toss up.
Yeah. So
kind of the last couple years as well, especially with it being at home. The Florida Gators are entering Billy Napier year 3.
Gators.
He was so on the hot seat. This podcast is basically, we said before last season started, he would be fired by week 6. He should have been fired by week 6. The AD came out and righted the ship, and then they kind of finished hot down the stretch. DJ Lagway got healthy, who is their quarterback, and they finished on a 4-game winning streak. They open against the very difficult Long Island in Gainesville, then South Florida as well, who gave Alabama a run for their money. LSU's in Baton Rouge. Then they play Miami in Miami, Texas in Gainesville, A&M, Mississippi State, Georgia, Kentucky, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Florida State. Schedule is brutal, especially if Miami and Florida State are good.
What was your over-under?
7.5.
I got him at 7. But again, that is also if they go to Miami and Miami beats them down like they did last year. Georgia's obviously Georgia. At LSU, this is me saying if LSU's who I think they are. Obviously Texas.
So then let me ask you this. 7 wins, that's the under. Is Billy Napier still the head coach next season? And if he's not, DJ Lagway's out.
I will say it'll depend on how the losses are. If your games are competitive and you're losing to Texas by a field goal, as long as you're not getting blown out, I think they'll keep him for another one because they can still sit there and say, well, yeah, we didn't win them, but look at how we progressed compared to previous years where we were getting blown out by these teams, where now we're one step away. Can we get over that one step for next year? And maybe he gets one more crack at it.
I just really want to know. This is back-to-back years where Florida and Oklahoma are just getting absolute crapped on in the scheduling department. Like, does someone have something against both those schools? Because last year, Florida, it was very different. Now, they did get someone they got Ole Miss at the end. So, we'll see if they can get someone else kind of at the end, midway through. Maybe they start hot, stay hot. We don't know. Missouri Tigers are also at 7.5. I'm missing a team, and it is Oklahoma, so I will have to do so.
I clicked on Florida's schedule from last year,
and
it brings up who the high pass was for the game. So for Florida, this is when Graham Mertz was still the quarterback.
Okay.
So,
hello? All right, well, everyone, we just lost Roberto, so that's interesting. Don't know where he went. He kind of just dropped off. So I will keep going with the Missouri Tigers, who are in year 5 of Eli Drinkowitz. Bo Pribula is transferring from Penn State, and he is projected to be the full-time starter there. They got him in the transfer portal before kind of the first playoff game happened last year. So their over-under is 7.5 for the Missouri Tigers. They get Central Arkansas, Kansas, Louisiana, Lafayette. And then it's South Carolina, Alabama, Auburn, Vanderbilt, A&M, Mississippi State, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Robert is texting me. So we are at 7.5 for Missouri, and let's just count them. I think they get Central Arkansas, they get Kansas, they get Louisiana, Lafayette. I think they lose to South Carolina. I think they lose to Alabama. I think they lose to Auburn. I think they beat Vanderbilt. They lose to A&M. And then they lose one of the last 3 to at least one, Mississippi State, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. So I have Missouri Tigers at a projected 7.5 as well. Robert's back. So I have them going 7 and 5.
That was wild.
What happened?
It just went black and said it was unable to connect to their server.
Oh.
And I was all confused. I'm like, wait, what's going on?
Yeah,
and then I thought it kicked you out, and then you're like, where'd you go? I was like, I was just me.
Oh, so you could still hear me.
Yeah.
That's
but
weird.
But it totally kicked me out, and it was saying I was uploading everything.
Oh.
So yeah.
Okay. Well, I did Missouri. I said under 7.5 on Missouri. I think that they just kind of have kind of a brutal mid part of their schedule. They're breaking in Bo Pribula from Penn State as well. One team I did want to look up is okay. The next team is a Texas A&M, the Aggies. You're two under Mike Elko. Marcel Reed's coming back as a starting quarterback. Their projected over-under is 7.5 for the Aggies. They have to play Notre Dame week 3 in South Bend. Then they get 3 nice home games there in the middle. Auburn, Mississippi State, Florida, before they go on the road to Arkansas and LSU and Columbia. And then they come back home for South Carolina and Samford before they go to Texas. So their over-under is 7.5. What say you, Robert?
Yeah, I got that's like an 8-9 win ball club. Their schedule's not too bad. But they get Notre Dame, Texas, LSU, Florida, maybe. It's not really that bad of a schedule for them.
I'm looking at an over here. I think
Right.
I think people are way too high on Notre Dame.
Well, it's a scenario where no one was high on Notre Dame last year because of losing to Northern Illinois,
Northern Illinois, yeah.
Northern Illinois, and then they go on a tear, and no one notices through the playoffs, and now everyone's going to have a high expectation for Notre Dame. So either they're going to crash and burn, or they're just going to be like that stagnant team like the whole way across the season and just be kind of good.
Time will tell. All right, so entering 2022, 2023, 2024, entering his 4th season at Oklahoma, and that is Brent Venables, who are at 6.5. John Mateer, one of the most productive quarterbacks last year, statistically comes over from Washington State to play at Oklahoma. Their over-under is 6.5. They start at Illinois State. Then they get Michigan in Norman, which Michigan is bound to be much improved, at least offensively. Temple in Philadelphia. Then Auburn in Norman, Kent State in Norman. Weird kind of first 6 weeks there. So the meat of their schedule is this: Texas, South Carolina, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Alabama, Missouri, and LSU. It's the last 6 or 7 weeks. They're 6.5. So are they over 500, or are they a bowl team?
2. Ooh, I have them as under. So if they beat Michigan, I have them at 6. If they lose to Michigan, I have them at 5.
If they lose to Michigan, I have them at 1, 2, 3, 4. If they lose to Michigan, I have them as a 4-win team. If they beat Michigan, they're a 5-win team. Either way, it's an under. I think Auburn's better than them on their schedule. I think Auburn's better than them. Texas is better than them. South Carolina's better than them. Ole Miss is better than them. So is Tennessee. Alabama, yeah. Missouri is the toss-up, and LSU, yeah.
They finish with 4 wins. Is Venable gone?
Oh, I think Venable's gone. Right? I think Venable's gone unless if they win 8-9 games this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy.
Okay. I can agree with that.
And even then, 8-9 games, no SEC championship game appearance, I still think there's a conversation depending on who else is out there and available. If things go really bad for Lincoln Riley at USC, is it a welcome back moment sort of deal,
Well, I think what Do we know what his buyout is?
Well, I'm just saying, like, I'm just making headlines.
Because I'll tell you who's not going to be getting kicked out anytime soon. Brian Kelly.
Oh, because his buyout's way high.
I think it's like 54.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty high. Did we did A&M, right?
Yes.
Okay. A&M
Colt
was
Classic.
over. Yes. Okay. Arkansas is at 5.5. Gary Pittman is in year. He's still at Arkansas, right?
Hold on, let me click on the roster. Is it going to tell me? Yeah, it tells me the coach at the bottom. Sam Pittman.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
It's still Sam Pittman and the former coach of Arkansas, Petrino, right?
Yeah.
The offensive coordinator. It's a weird dynamic there. Taylen Green coming back. 5.5 is the over-under for Arkansas. Arkansas's got Alabama A&M, Arkansas State. Then it's Ole Miss, Memphis, Notre Dame. Notre Dame's really making their way around the SEC this year. Tennessee, A&M, Auburn, Mississippi State, LSU, Texas, Missouri. They also kind of have a brutal end of their schedule. So over under.
What's our over under 5?
5.5, yeah.
I'm going to say under, and it's going to be 5.
Okay. So under with 5.
That's a terrible end of the year.
Sam Pittman would definitely be gone in that. Kentucky Wildcats. Mark Stoops is already entering year 13 with the program, longest tenured coach in the SEC. Their over-under is 4.5. I would have to believe if they hit the under there, he would be gone. Zach Calzada, 7th year coming in. He was at A&M, projected starting quarterback right now. Kentucky, I don't think they did it Kentucky any favors. Ole Miss in Lexington, South Carolina, Georgia, back-to-back, both on the weeks. Then they on the road. Then they get a bye. Texas, Tennessee, Auburn, Florida, Tennessee Tech. Yay. Vanderbilt, Louisville. So 4.5. Really? What? 4.5. Yeah.
I think they go over. 5,
1,
6.
2, 3. I'm 5, 6. All right. I'm good with that. Vanderbilt, Clark Lee and Diego Pavia back for year 4, also 4.5. They get, let's see here. They have to go to Alabama, to South Carolina. They get LSU at home. They get Missouri at home. They go to Texas, Auburn at home, Kentucky at home, and then Tennessee's on the road, and their over-under is 4.5 as well. Oh, they also have to go to Virginia Tech. I did miss that. 2.
It's kind of a tough one. You know what? I think they're going to go over that.
I think they're going to get 5 wins, and they're going to beat someone to get the 5th win.
Probably at Tennessee.
Or Auburn or Kentucky. They're going to get one of them. And then finally, the Mississippi State Bulldogs. I think we did everyone. Did we do South Carolina? We didn't do South Carolina.
I don't think we did South Carolina.
No, we did.
Oh.
Maybe I missed them. We can do South Carolina then. But let's do Mississippi State. 3.5. Zach Arnett, year 2. Blake Shapen is the quarterback there. Mississippi State. Southern Miss, Arizona State, that's a loss. Alcorn State, Northern Illinois, Tennessee, A&M, Florida, Texas, Arkansas, Georgia, Missouri, Ole Miss.
Over.
I'm going to say over, and they get someone as well.
Because it's 3.5, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they can get 4. Southern Miss, Alcorn State, Northern Illinois. There's your 3. They go and they sneak one against Arkansas. It's not. Arkansas's not great. They get Missouri.
Nothing is impossible. So then we did not do, so South Carolina, Shane Beamer and Lenoris Sellers team up for another round of Beamer Ball. South Carolina. This is what happens when you choose or ask ChatGPT for help. South Carolina is 7.5. I don't know. It was here somewhere, and I must have missed it. Oh well, doesn't really matter. Oh yeah, Shane Beamer, year 4, Lenore Sellers, 7.5. Virginia Tech is in Atlanta. Then directional school, Vanderbilt, Missouri, Kentucky, LSU, Oklahoma, Alabama, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Coastal Carolina, Clemson is in Columbia at the end of the year.
I like it over. I like them at 9.
You like them to win 9 games.
Yeah, Virginia Tech, South Carolina State, Vandy, Missouri, Kentucky, lose to LSU, beat Oklahoma, lose to Alabama, sneak one in Ole Miss, beat A&M, beat Coastal, and then lose to Clemson.
Okay. Alrighty. And then who do you like? So then you have Alabama, Georgia, Texas. Which 2 are making the SEC title game?
I'm going to say, because Paul Feinbaum is going to be irate if Alabama does not make it, because it is an absolute travesty to have the greatest conference not be able to have a 4-team conference championship at the same time. So I'm going to say they'll probably give the nod to Bama.
Okay.
And it'll be Bama LSU for a rematch. And I'm going to say that this game is going to be, I forget what year it was, but it was just field goal after field goal after field goal after field goal. But I'm going to take LSU as the SEC champion.
LSU as the SEC champion. Okay.
Which means LSU is going 3-9.
That is correct, because we all know Robert's record outside of Conference USA. Bad teams in Conference USA.
Terrible.
He does not know how to pick winners. Well, good thing we're not going to pick winners here for this segment. We are in the O-line section of the all 4th and 1 team. So we are going to pick one O-line group. Basically, we're trying to figure out who's going to win the Joe Moore Award. However, this is just our all 4th and 1 team. So, Robert, take it away. This is minus the tight end. Tight ends will be their own thing.
Correct. All right. So we have 6 groups. We pick one winner from each group. We will narrow it down to 2 groups, and then we will narrow it down between the 2 last remaining teams. Group number 1, Michigan, Oklahoma, Miami.
I think Michigan's offensive line is loaded with seniors, so I'm going to take Michigan. Give me then Miami to bench, and I'm going to cut Oklahoma.
Okay. Georgia, Syracuse, and Oklahoma State.
I'm going to cut Oklahoma State. I have no idea what I'm getting from them. I'll bench Syracuse, and I'll start Georgia's offensive line.
All right. Navy, Colorado, Penn State.
I'm going to...
I like this.
I'm going to start Penn State. I'm going to bench Navy, and I'm going to cut Colorado.
Okay.
And I was very close to just starting Navy's offensive line.
Dude, that you can't go wrong with an academy line.
Yeah.
Florida, Florida State, Ohio State.
Florida State, Ohio State. I'm going to take Ohio State. They're somehow always productive enough. Bench Florida and cut Florida State.
Arizona, Iowa, or Bama?
I'm going to start Iowa, bench Bama, and cut whoever the third one was. Arizona.
This one I think is going to be pretty tough.
Okay.
This last group. Clemson,
Mm-hmm.
USC, Notre Dame.
Start Clemson, bench Notre Dame, cut USC.
All right. Group. We're down to our final 6. We have Michigan, Georgia, Penn State.
I'm going. Oh wow, that is tough. Because the 2 running backs that Penn State had, I think, make up for a lot. I'm going to start Georgia. Wow. I'm going to bench Penn State, and I'm going to cut Michigan.
Ohio State, Iowa, Clemson.
Start Clemson, bench Iowa, cut Ohio State.
All right, so on our bench, either Penn State or Iowa.
I'm going to take Penn State.
Okay. And our starter, Georgia or Clemson?
I'm going to roll with Georgia's offensive line.
Okay.
I just think that they kind of underperformed last year, and I mean, I don't really know like how many seniors are on each squad either, which kind of doesn't help. But I don't know. Something about an SEC offensive line, I think still is supreme against a lot of even top tier Big Ten offensive lines.
Yep.
And I could be wrong. I don't know. Finally, one last quick thing here before we get out of here. Listen, College Football 26 came out. They sent a patch out today. Seems to be things are improving and working. We have started a dynasty. We're going to kind of check in week to week. I would like to. Week 1 is about to be underway as soon as we log off here. So week 1 is going to be on the way. I don't know if Robert's still with us or not. I can hear him maybe. Oh, yep, there he is.
Still here, baby.
I'm Florida State. Rob, you're Arizona State, right?
Yes'm.
AKA is not playing this year. So he we'll give kind of week to week check-ins with how our season is going. Anyway, what I do want to say is if Bryce Underwood is half as good in real life as he is in College Football 26, Michigan may go undefeated. Okay? There is a term that the youngins use that is glaze, and that just, I'm sure it has some sexual thing. I don't know. But basically, it just means when people just love on someone so much, and it's just the hype train. You know, hype train leaving the station, the glaze. So anyway, Bryce Underwood has been he, I think, is like an 84 to start as a true freshman. He has not played a down of college football.
Yeah. It's wild.
At least Ryan Williams, who you can make the argument he's overrated or not in the game in terms of overall. At least he played 12 games last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
However, in my offline dynasty, Underwood is so fun to use, dude. He is mobile. He is accurate. He is strong. He's a lot of fun. So Bryce Underwood, please be as good as you are in the video game, in real life, and you will have
3/4 as good.
Yeah, dude, half as good. This has been the 4th Podcast. Wash your hands, you filthy animals. We'll be back probably next week. Until then, take care of yourself and stay safe.